Hello everyone, I just welcome back to my channel. It's good to have you on this channel. I am sure that you would have subscribed already, but if you have not done that, just in case, please remember to subscribe, hit the notification button, and like and share. Today we want to discuss a riveting topic that has been in the airwaves for over a month. I am referring to that same issue of the SSL, the fraud that has taken place in that financial institution. You know, when you would have worked hard, when you would have acquired your wealth, you would want to invest your money in a reputable institution. You are not thinking that this institution that is supposed to be safeguarding your money would be the one that would defraud you. Now, to date, nobody has been arrested. You know, there was this big hullabaloo when this news broke out, and Usain's lawyers, they gave an ultimatum that the money needed to be repaid. To date, to the best of my knowledge, no one has been arrested. Nobody has been held accountable. What is it? What are they waiting on? What's going to happen? Is this what we are teaching our children now? That it is okay to sit and plot and rob people of their hard-earned cash and nothing is going to come out of it? Probably eventually persons will be held accountable. Let me hope. And definitely based on the news that would have been shared today, the international body is going to be invited into this probe. And once that is done, I am sure that we are going to get answers. So let us sit tight and let us listen and let us pay keen attention of how this plot is going to unfold. If you missed the news, here is a recap of what was shared tonight. When you listen, please leave your feedback as to what you think about this situation. Remember to subscribe.
Told the country that SSL attempted to wind up the company. And so the Financial Services Commission FSC as regulator got a court order to stop SSL from winding up or selling its assets. But SSL sees things differently. The company says on January 12 it told the FSC about the appointment of a trustee, Kadion Campbell of Phoenix Restructuring, Advisory and Insolvency Services Enterprise. Mr. Campbell's appointment took effect 4 days later on January 16. It was the intention of SSL directors to give their powers and authority to the trustee, putting the company under his control. The trustee and his team would independently review the business to, among other things, determine its financial state of affairs. The information would also help to explore options for restructuring and reorganizing. SSL said the trustee was not appointed to wind up the company. Kadion Campbell would also ensure all conservatory measures were in place over the assets while ensuring the company obeys FSC directives. Despite this explanation, Finance Minister Dr Nigel Clarke is sticking to the facts as reported by the SSL temporary manager appointed by the FSC.
The temporary manager is in receipt of resolution filed with the company's office for a member's voluntary winding up and stamp received by the company's office on the 16th of January 2023. I don't know what people might say their intent is, but that document speaks for itself. And the temporary manager, the FSC, the government of Jamaica,
had to act in light of that resolution that was filed with the company's office. In the meantime, SSL says so far there has been no one-time investment and the work has filed have nothing but
month, questions have been raised as to why no one has been arrested. Anthony Lugg has been speaking with attorney at law Hugh Wildman.
January 12, 2023, the bombshell revelation. Over 40 clients of Stocks and Securities Limited had been defrauded, including sprint legend Usain Bolt. So far, SSL employee Jean Ann Panton has been the main person of interest in the multi-billion-dollar fraud case. On January 20, the police swooped down on Panton's home, where they recovered several documents and electronic devices. Several of the defrauded victims have also provided statements. 12 days later, no charges have been laid, and the public has been asking why. Attorney at law Hugh Wildman sought to explain a possible reason.
The case may be a complex one, but the complexity of the case has nothing to do with what they have gathered so far. So if you have gathered enough evidence against one individual, that person can be charged while the investigation continues. So the complexity of the case does not preclude a person being charged at early stage if they have enough evidence. And one would expect that if the person made a confession statement or a caution statement, then naturally one would say that the person, they have enough against that particular individual.
In a statement making the rounds on social media, Ms. Panton detailed the reasons for stealing the funds from unsuspecting clients. The document detailed the intricate scheme of how she withdrew millions of dollars from the accounts. The statement is said to have been made days before the multi-billion-dollar fraud was made public. It's still unclear whether she has given a formal statement to the police.
So the question must be, did she give a caution statement to the police, or did she give a regular police statement for the purpose of assisting the police in their investigation to get at other persons?
The clock is ticking, and it's left to be seen how the multi-billion-dollar fraud case at SSL will unfold. What's clear, however, is that all eyes remain fixed on the case.
They have to get it right in terms of the investigation. But from where I see it, as I say, if there's one person so far who they think is a possible suspect, I don't see why they would be dragging out the investigation in terms of that particular individual. So you must be asking, and the public have a right to ask that question, why you haven't gotten a caution statement. If it is a caution statement, you have not moved in on it. There must be, the police need to answer that question.
Anthony Lugg, TVJ News.
Securities Limited SSL is turning out to be a mammoth undertaking. This as the United States Federal Bureau of Investigations, FBI, is now deeply involved in probing the 13-year fraud. According to Finance Minister Dr Nigel Clarke, the agency has been active in the investigation for over a week now, and there are plans to go beyond what was requested. As Kalisha Williams reports, another international partner has also been engaged.
Over a week ago, Finance Minister Dr Nigel Clarke told the country the government has called on the FBI and other international partners as the SSL fraud exploded. Fast forward to the Financial Investigations Division Forum on Wednesday.
By the time I spoke last Monday, the investigative bodies were already in touch and collaborating with the FBI, and that collaboration has continued with meetings that have followed.
Since then, Finance Minister Dr Nigel Clarke said a lot has been happening between the authorities in Jamaica and the FBI.
In the briefing that I have received, based on developments, the FBI is going to be intensifying their involvement even beyond what would have been thought when I first made that statement.
As for the international forensic partners that he said the government would be engaging, we were told that process is also far advanced. According to Dr. Clarke, it is important that no stone is left unturned in probing the 13-year fraud.
We are going to allocate the space in our budget to make sure we can procure the best international forensic experts that we can find. And since that time, we have identified a firm, and the procedures involved in contracting are underway. Further updates will be provided. The cyber resources and cyber forensic resources of the government of Jamaica have also been activated.
As for the nature of the fraud itself, Dr. Clarke believes managers, directors, and most importantly, auditors have several questions to answer. He said the conversation cannot be about the government alone.
So not casting aspersions, but there are questions that have to be answered as to why this wasn't detected by external auditors, by special auditors, by internal auditors over a long period of time. And the reason is not to cast blame on anybody, but to understand the weaknesses in the private sector.
The two-day forum will continue tomorrow at the Jamaica Pegasus as the government looks to widen the use of the Proceeds of Crime Act to help reduce corruption in Jamaica. Kalisha Williams, TVJ News.